Hello everyone and welcome back to the Edain Mod. Today we are playing as the Dwarves. As which dwarves? Well, I would say that's up to you guys, but this isn't live. At least not on YouTube. We are going to play as... Well, the last time I played them was as Erebor defending in the... wherever it was. I believe the last time we actually played on this map we played as the Iron Hill, so I'm going to choose Erebor. I still need to remember to turn the ring mode back on when I'm not playing on these Horde maps. But, oh well. So let's start with getting the Hall of Warriors and 2 Stonemasons. We're up against Gondor. Okay, I picked the right faction. Erebor is actually really good against Gondor. I believe the last time I played against Gondor as the Dwarves, I was playing as the Iron Hills, and we got Edain fully tanked up to be a beast, and he kind of killed everyone. Oh, it's not fun when spiders are walking into your base. Keep out of their leash range. They should go back to their land. Yep. Just one battle tower's enough for now. Just enough to deal with the spiders. Nori. They've been here too long. They've been here too long. Okay, Gondor sword is dealt with. So why are the Dwarves of Erebor so good against the Dwarves of... Sorry, why are the Dwarves so good against the Dwarves? Sorry, I kind of went into a bit of whatever. So why are the Dwarves of Erebor so good against Gondor? Because Gondor's main troops are armoured troops. Even their basic fiefdom units have some level of armour, and the Dwarves are actually really good against the Hinith-Gelin fiefdom because they are armoured. And also, every strike reduces the armour of enemy units and buildings by 15% for 30 seconds. So just one unit of Guardians is enough to have a support role in an army of like Arkengard. Here we go. Let's build another lumber mill. That's where the basis of our economy comes from, the lumber mills. With the lumber mills, we can actually go for a more heavy early game economy. If these lumbermen are still alive and cutting down trees. That's the main thing. If the lumbermen have trees to cut down, it's safe to keep them near your base. And build a lot of them. Because also, if you didn't know, they use exploitation, which means they're not a part of the supply route chains. Which makes the Dwarves and Isengard have a very strong early game economy. Similar to Lothlorien, because a lot of their buildings are, just reject the new way of how economy works. Let's have Nori go in on his own to deal with these guys. We'll try and save this building. Nori should one-hit these fools. Yep. And with time, Nori will just level up on his own. He doesn't need to actually fight. And at some point, he can then summon Dori, and Dori becomes stronger the stronger Nori is, which is always a nice thing to have. This won't take long. Okay, next destroy that farm and get the settlers' tools. Actually, no, dwarven workers' tools. I forget. Dwarven workers' tools also give you a increase in power for your. They give an increase to your barracks as well. Your barracks and your forge works, they get an extra advantage. And look at that! Look at these dwarves cutting through these pikemen like a knife through butter. Anachain just come back. Just started a new dwarf battle. Now, I'm just going to put this out there for those who don't know. Just currently streaming everything that I do, but a lot of stuff that I have been streaming recently, well, at least today, won't see the light of day on YouTube because honestly, I've been playing a bit sloppy today. We did try a Horde Stoneway map and didn't go well, so you won't be seeing that. I'm just playing the Dwarves of Erebor just to have some fun. Who called for some Guardians? Now, my strategy when playing the Dwarves is to get some strong early game economy and build a half in your base. Probably build 3 stonemasons so your buildings have more health. For every 1/2 up to 4. you get extra health when your building's up to 30%. Get out of their attack range. In fact, you two units, stay back. Stay back and get healed. We've got 2 full health units over here, and we've got 2 slightly wounded units. But all our units are still alive, that's the main thing. All the units we've paid for so far are still alive, and they're going to be even more valuable when they're at full health. There's labourers back in there. They've destroyed the Barrow-Wight lair already. That is not good. In fact, they've already destroyed. That means they're going to build that outpost and have more power. Now, the last time I played on this map, the best strategy to deal with that kind of aggression from the enemy is to... Where are my labourers? Where'd I put them? Over there. Yeah, don't bother repairing the building if that's what you were trying to do. I said our settlement, since it's currently still left unattended, build another lumber mill. Get a settler's tools upgrade. Since another forged tools upgrade would only give us the line of defence, which currently we don't need. Although, to be fair, I'm actually going to demolish this. Get another lumber mill. And see why they haven't taken that outpost. Oh, the Barrow-Wight's still there fighting. Oh, perfect timing. That's a lot of archers they have. Dwarven flanking attack. Yeah, keep out the way of that Barrow-Wight. And in fact, try and entice it into the enemy. Yeah, here we go. Make sure it dies before we actually try anything against the Gondorians. Look, we're actually using the enemy lair against them. And we're not going to have to deal with it because Nori's going to kill it. Go on, Nori. Almost killed it, but that's still not enough. Almost is not enough. So we're going to fall back. Get forged workers' tools built up, which would make all of our buildings level 3. And if that Barrow-Wight is going to keep being a pest to Gondor, that's perfect for me because I don't have to deal with as many enemy units. Throw Cox Ravens into the floor of that lumber mill, so it's safe. Get another unit of Guardians while we're at it. Yeah, with the Dwarves, you don't want to show your hand straight away. You want to be playing it slow and steady because your units are slower. The early game is not your advantage. Okay, the Barrow-Wight's dead now. They've got Rangers. They've got the Rangers. And that's where we start losing the advantage as well. In fact, I'm tempted to build a forge work so we can get battle wagons to deal with their archers. But on a small map like this, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary to go for battle wagons on a map like this, or any cavalry really. You can go and invest in 1 or 2 elite cavalry units if you can make them without needing any big investment in your buildings. For example, like with the Dwarves of the Iron Hills, they can make a unit of they can make 3 units of cavalry, elite cavalry, without needing a investment into their buildings. They just need to have a hero and elite equipment, which is something that every dwarf faction should go for. Build another stonemason. I will build a mine shaft here. Yeah, look at that. Those tower guard, even though they're technically above the level of the Dwarven Guardians, they still got wrecked. Plus the fact we just outnumbered them. Sheer numbers won us that fight. And now the lone tower. Just to distract any enemies. Oh, that's 1 unit down. That's never a good thing to see. Have the dwarves near the half so they can heal. Get the 4 settlers tools soon. Throw the ravens onto the tower so we can have a bit more vision of what we're up against. I've noticed an archery range, a barracks, and a blacksmith, but there might be something else I want to see. Oh yeah, keep focusing on them. Okay, they've got the stables up, so I'm actually going to want to build some pikemen in. But the problem is these Raven Beak warriors is what they're called. They're not particularly good at dealing with enemy cavalry. They're not exactly They're not exactly pikemen, is the best way to say it. They're not quite on the level as normal pikemen because Erebor's main priority is to focus down an enemy that is not normally just melee infantry or buildings. Most pikemen, however, are meant to be dealing with cutting down an enemy in their place.
Positions. Ah, yes, that will do it. Gotta move on.
Gotta move on. What the?
Hear me now.
There's a Gondorian over there. It won't be for long now. That barrage though, why does it feel like it's been patched to do even more damage? Yeah, cavalry's forte is dealing with low-level infantry, not trying to kill off a building. That is not going to work for them. Get rid of those rangers, they're the bigger threat among my enemies. But yeah, the Raven Peak warriors, their ability Polearm Hammer Strike. 30 seconds deal increased damage against infantry and structures, but reduced damage against cavalry and monsters. To be fair, they already do, I believe, they do reduce damage anyway. So the fact they do that doesn't exactly give them an advantage. Ah, they keep stealthing halfway through. That poor bird doesn't know what to do. That's fine, I'll save it. I might just be close to winning. Now we have 4,000 in the bank. I'm just going to get Gimli. Screw it. If they're not going to play fair, I'm going to get Gimli. Let's build a mine shaft. I'm actually going to build an undermine right in front of my base. So now our troops can go into that undermine and straight into the fight. There goes the lone tower. It did a good job. It held back the enemy for quite a while. Now I'm going to throw ravens over to the mine shaft. There's one dwarf yet in Moria who still draws breath. Let's get heavy armor. Oh! One unit of cavalry and look at the damage they dealt. They cut through me. Cut through me good. And have me to get some revenge.
Oh, too many winters.
Yeah, we just got squelched there. Gonna get rid of this building here, build another barracks, get the line of defences up, so we can build a half elsewhere and get another stonemason. I probably could have done that differently, but I guess I could build a mine shaft as well, which is what I will do, and get a hall of warriors. And once the lines of defences are built, I can rebuild the half. There we go, line of defences, build a half. We need more dwarves. Indeed, indeed we do need more dwarves. And luckily the basic Erebor warriors are just enough. We could have gone for the elite. If I was thinking more on my feet, I would have not gotten Gimli, I would have gone elite equipment as well as getting the rest of my upgrades. But I thought, why not? We're doing well. I might as well get Gimli. We had far too much economy at one point to make a rational decision like deciding what armies we should be fielding. That's fine. I can now start taking advantage of what we have. And yeah, if I hadn't guessed, we haven't built any range units because we're dwarves. Why would we need range? Oh, don't do that to me. I literally just asked why do we need range units, and then they have to summon the eagles on me. That's just rude. That's just a new level of rudeness, that is. That's fine, we've got axe throwers on this tower protecting us. That was the literal worst time the AI could have thought, oh, let's just summon the eagles, when I'm trying to say why we don't need any archers. But yeah, to be fair, I don't know if I'm discrediting axe throwers like I have done with other units in the past, which I've suddenly gained suddenly found a liking to. But I personally don't think any of the dwarf factions should be going for ranged units at any point, unless you're in a standoff in defense and you have no other choice. That is one of the few times I would ever suggest going for cavalry, the archers, ranged units, whatever you want to call them. Because one, they're slow, and you need your ranged units to be fast so they can reposition into the place they need to be. They can still get taken out in one shot by cavalry, which is the main reason why I don't like the pikemen too much. They don't really do enough to protect my units in a standoff situation, which happens more times than you think. It happens more times than you would think. And thirdly, they just cost too many command points for a single unit of axe throwers. And also, the rest of our units do the exact same thing that they do. They do a lot of damage from a certain position. And in fact, speaking of, I'm going to get the elite equipment now and start preparing the Archon Guard spam. Once you get the Archon Guard out, then that's it, it's over. It's be over for them. Let's sit back and wait. They can destroy the mine shaft all they want. I'm going to destroy this farm instead. They take something from me, I take something from them. And I'm really was lucky they didn't take this outpost, because then we would have been in trouble if they had taken this outpost away from me. I did a very strong, smart, strategic position or maneuver in the beginning by moving into all those archers that were trying to kill a single barrow wight. Could use Dale archers, yes. That is the one thing that does actually make having archers a good thing. The thing is, though, you need to build an outpost, which is honestly a bad choice for the dwarves. You're basically building an entire outpost to have access to one unit, which can, yes, it can have a half, but so can a normal outpost. It also can have leadership abilities and more than one tower if necessary. It also generates more resources if you want it to. I just don't think it's something to invest into. And that's another thing why I think I do have an idea of what they could do to swap things around a bit, to maybe give you access to Dale units from one of your settlements. The only problem is doing that is you then have 4 settlements, which are all very good. You'd have access to 2 different economy buildings, one which doesn't require supply routes, and another that gives you decreases to your upgrades, and another that another one that gives you your best troops. So I don't know. It might be me thinking off the top of my head, but I personally feel like some things could be changed around with the dwarves. Well, at least in my eyes. I know there are quite a few people that like the Dale and Lake Town units more than than just having the variability of this outpost. But personally, in my defense, they put so much into this specific dwarf outpost that makes it unique to all of the basic outposts by giving it 3 extra defenses: a tower, a statue, or a healing fountain. I don't know. It might be me thinking a bit cynically, but at least that's my opinion on it. To be fair, I think there's always things that can be changed around to make things more interesting, but it wouldn't make it better in the long run, I think. Let's throw out another mine down here if I can. Want my vision back.
your courage. To arms!
Walk around and destroy.
Kazad Imadu!
Oh, that's an Aragorn. Oh dear. Aragorn, who can win between you and Gimli and an army of dwarves behind your back? I think Aragorn might be doomed. And I think he's trying to run away to the wrong direction.
What are we waiting for?
Certainty of death. Small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
Kazad Imadu! Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, that stable's a problem. So I have no intention of building pikemen.
I'll lead you now. Mind your courage.
Oh, they got another full unit of guardians. That stinks.
Hear me now. I know what I'm doing.
You rude ass.
Kazad Imadu! Get ready for war. Hear me now.
We need a full army to get through there. Get these runes
They're tearing our buildings down.
on this barracks. Gives permanent armor and damage to enemy units around it. Extra hit points and has faster regeneration. Yeah, every 20 seconds you'll just get 500 points.
Get ready for war. Kazad Imadu! Disturb a dwarf, will ya?
Yeah, full Archangard spam is the way to go, in my opinion.
I know what I'm doing.
Do have to wonder though, is there a better way of doing this?
Get ready
Okay, that's their cavalry that's now come out. Bring the Ravens more centralized.
Kazad Imadu!
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot of different unique things to choose from. I've always just liked this outpost though so much that that's what I prefer to it. But I have pikemen alive. What?
What is it? For the dwarves!
Go on, Nora, get in there.
First one in.
Calling a Aphelion Ranger's health down to half. That's impressive. Saying Aphelion Rangers actually have a decent health pool. Oh, you just run around and rebuild this idiot while it's gone again. How's that make you feel? In fact, you know what? It's time to finish this. One tower down in one swing. And they wasted their rebuild to try and save it. That's just rude. It took me forever to build this force up.
This can't be happening!
Oh no, it is happening. I just need to try and stop it. Foreign Stonehold passed away. But we saved a lot, so
Stand proud!
I made them waste Army of the Dead, killing my entire army.
Forward! They're attacking our resources!
Yeah, Army of the Dead is a definite just trump card that saves you against almost everything. The few things that can counter Army of the Dead, by the way, if you want to know, if you've ever thought fighting Army of the Dead is just a drag and you don't like doing it, you want to find a way to beat it, Imladris has the most noticeable ways of doing it with their tier 3 power protection of the Bruin then. So it summons a flood which does elemental damage, so it's really good against Army of the Dead. Elrond also does decent damage against the Army of the Dead. All elves with silver thorn arrows or the gold tipped arrows also do magic damage, so that's damage that can kill off a Army of the Dead. Galadriel is really good at dealing with them because obviously her attacks are magical in property. Elrond's Tornado is good at dealing with them, keeping them in a position. Can't think what else off the top of my head. Gandalf obviously, Saruman obviously, Radagast obviously. Although, to be fair, Radagast doesn't do too much actual magic damage. Come on, I just got back here. Okay, time to go away again.
Yeah! What say you? Where's the fight? Get ready for I'll be the first one.
Right, if you're wondering why Edain doesn't come out with the full evacuation, it's because he's the ring hero. So there's a few little glitches. Sauron with the ring, yeah. But to be fair, Sauron in general is actually really good. Sauron in his fire form, in his non-Gorfal state, with his passive AoE aura does a lot of good damage, as does his level 10 ability, to where he does more fire damage around him.
Where's the fight? Get ready for
Saruman, yeah, Blessed and Cursed are the best ways of dealing damage because his Scorching Earth and whatever his other thing is called.
Ha, that's your best.
What else? I imagine Smaug will do really well against the Army of the Dead with his fire, because that's technically elemental damage, which is magic damage. And also the Balrog, obviously. The Balrog has always been a counter. I say the Balrog has always been the counter to the Army of the Dead with his summoning and flame breath. Even back in BFME 1.
Here we go.
What else? Get the last rune. Going Iron Hills or Erebor. In fact, no, any of the dwarf factions with the ring hero is really good against the Army of the Dead. Rohan has got Aragorn. I think Aragorn should do decent damage against Army of the Dead if the Edain team did did the few things that I have a feeling they would have done.
What say you?
What else is really good? You better not stand down, Dane. Show him who's boss. In fact, get in there fully. Oh my god, that damage! That is, you know what that is? That is better than the Lasonic Axeman damage that we had before. Remember? If any of you were watching live on on today's live stream, when this was being all done, we had an army of Lasonic Axemen dealing a bunch of damage to structures. They did nowhere near as much damage as these dwarves are. Nowhere near. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that. No siege, no tier 4 power, no ring hero, just fully armed and filthy dwarves doing what they do best. Stop those knights from charging, and they are dead meat. Didn't even have to target the citadel and it's already been destroyed again. Get rid of that stables and that should be GG. On a camp map like this, destroying the last recruitment building the enemy has, it should be GG. You don't like half our units are going the wrong way. Oh. Go on, Gimli. Turn yellow for some reason. Yes! Oh, I needed that victory. Oh, that felt good. Always fun to go back to the dwarves. I swear one day I'll give Men of Dale or Lake Town their due, but I still feel like they'll disappoint me. Well then, with the dwarves done,